Yes, I would like actually a lot of difficulties, but today I would like to highlight two things particular about culture. First is like when we are introduced about consent book to international students, the context and meaning of consent need to be understood and deeply explored, especially because consent in Western culture is more like to represent the free will, while in some cultures, we are not really encouraged to tell our own willingness. And if we just use consent to let student, it's something you should done. It's just a, yep, hello, sorry.
That's okay. I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, how can people from cold communities who experience sexual harassment or assault be better supported?
I think the most important thing is we need more peers in the front line because this kind of conversation sometimes is very hard to make people to start a conversation. So peers who can understand the lived experience, have more sense about the context of the students, can help them to more feel safer to tell about themselves. And that is very important.
Well, what should schools and teachers be aware of in dealing with possible harassment or assault cases?
I think for teachers who kind of understand this would happen, they not only help students to talking about the experience, they need to more like try their shoes to think about the students might will face with, they will be a fear or worry to respond to their communities, their families. So this kind of concern need to be addressed in the conversation with students by teachers as well.
But it's not just on campus that such incidents occur, correct?
Yes, actually some workplace and also happen very often. And I do know some case about that. I have, yes.
So how can those issues kind of be supported there?
I would like to first, as I said, peer support is very important. We want some more people from cultural communities to support people. Another thing I would really highlight the gender-friendly one. I do have a case of my clients who was a female and asking for help from the working women centers, but because the phone call was answered by males, and this client just experienced the assault from a males. So this kind of gender imbalance, it's just let her feel like a little bit withdrawn to tell about more. So in the front line, who pick up particular for sexual assault or sexual harassment lines, I would suggest the more from the similar cultural background and similar gender background.
And for parents too, it must be difficult for them to be there for their children, given that they're living so far away.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, I want to expect them to too much on that, not only because the distance, but also for a lot of students from their cultures, they would not expose these issues to their family members for support, because some cultures will let us think we don't want to worry our parents when we feel like they can't help. And this will stop students to seek support from the family members. That will just reinforce the vulnerability of international students a lot.
Now, a 2017 Human Rights Commission report found that more than half of all university students were sexually harassed in 2016. That's a staggering figure. Do you feel the issue is being adequately addressed by universities?
Well, from my personal experience as an international student before, I don't think really it was addressed adequately. Not only because when we are get our orientation and support from within uni networking, this kind of issue was not specifically picked out to point out to talk about. Other thing is like when we try to generally tell us how to seek help for when you experience crime or as a victims, it's not really culturally appropriate because we have different legal systems. We have different sense about what is crime, what is assault in my cultural sense, but this is not really highlighted during the conversations with uni students, and that needed to be improved.
Well, Tingting, thank you for highlighting this to us. Great to talk. Thanks so much for your time.